Okay. So, right? When I say racial profiling and discrimination, what do you think of?
I tend to think of how someone would be discriminated against during either their skin tone or how they speak.
Which do you classify as worse, profiling or discrimination, or are they equal?
They're equal.
Where do you see the above mentioned more often, whether it be school, work, social networks, gatherings, etc.?
I see racial discrimination more than the profiling.
And what type of setting?
And the type of setting would be in school and mostly work.
Have you ever been profiled and or discriminated against?
Yes, I have.
Can you describe it?
I was in elementary school. I moved into a new town up in Alaska. And since I am of the Hispanic race, they thought since no one up there is mainly Hispanic, it's mostly white, people are black or they're Russian, they didn't really know how to deal with Hispanics. So they put me in a remedial class so they can see if I was able to speak English, even though I was ahead of my grade.
By the same token, have you ever profiled or discriminated against a person?
No, I haven't.
Can you give me a sole example of discrimination?
A sole example of discrimination could be, well, can I use what's going on right now in the news?
Go for it.
Okay, what's going on is that, wait, can I repeat it?
Can you give me a sole example of discrimination?
A sole example of discrimination is how police officers are able to shoot a black innocent person while if there's no trial for it and the police officer is innocent, while if they shot someone who's white, that police officer will go to jail right away.
And one of just profiling, just a sole example of profiling.
An example of profiling would be that, for example, if I walk into a store, someone would assume I speak Spanish even though I choose not to or don't fully understand it.
Just for data analysis, what is your age and your race?
My age is 18 and I don't think, I'm 18 and I'm Hispanic.
How often do you see this sort of discrimination and or profiling happen?
I see it more on the news. I don't really see it on the day-to-day basis here in El Paso.
Okay, so now the questions are going to be directed towards the scenario you read before the interview began. What do you think about this particular situation?
I feel like this situation probably does happen to a lot of people, but I have yet to see that actually happen around.
How do you personally relate to the scenario?
I personally relate because if I walk into a store and someone automatically speaks to me in Spanish, I'd prefer someone to speak to me in English because they shouldn't assume.
Most importantly, how does this make you feel? Like, how does this make you want to react or act?
It makes me upset. I think that people shouldn't be treating you differently or try speaking to you differently just because based on your race.
Are you aware of any movements trying to change or stop this discrimination from happening?
I am partially aware of some, but not all.
If so, have you taken any part in them?
Sadly, I have not, because most of them that are taking place, I have not been here to participate.
How open are you to discussing this topic to others?
I'm very open.
Have you ever gotten called racist just because you bring the topic of racism or discrimination up?
No.
In general, do you understand, how do you understand and feel racial discrimination and profiling to be in this society?
I feel like everyone's starting to say, no, it doesn't happen, but we see examples again and again on the news that people of different races that are not white are treated differently and basically like second-class citizens, not first.
How does technology enhance discrimination?
I feel like it enhances discrimination because you can look on Twitter on the comments, you can look on YouTube on the comments how they're just basically racially profiling anyone who posts something of their own opinion.
Do you personally often see it on social media?
Yes, I do see it a lot on social media.
How does that make you feel as a person?
Honestly, it makes me feel upset because I see a Vine, for example, showing how oh, they're racially profiling one specific race and they're trying to make it funny. I don't see the point in it.
Have you ever called someone out for discriminating or profiling?
I believe I have.
And lastly, how does the topic as a whole spark a reaction in you? How does it make you react, or how does it make you feel, and what does it spark within you to move?
I think that what it makes me feel personally is a little upset that it's still going on, even though society says that we're progressing, when it seems that everything that's still going on now happened in the 1920s and 1930s. If we want to make a movement happen, we need to start acting now.
Thank you.